MotorWeek is made possible by TireRack.com, Hum by Verizon, RockAuto.com, State Farm, and WeatherTech.
Tents blocking the sun from hitting the infield grass. Drivers protecting them on the 2.5-mile track like crocodiles in a moat. Visitors calling this castle home for 3 days. We're escaping reality at Gridlife South, hosted at Road Atlanta. High speed, music, drifting, and ecstatic energy in the air. On top of that, a car show that vows to keep it weird. We have found Radwood, celebrating bright colors, big hair, and the wedge-shaped looks of the 1980s and 1990s. Let's go back to the future. While cars of this era, like a Porsche 944 or Oldsmobile 98 diesel, may not be regarded as the most attractive by the general population, a lot of us oddballs still lust after these gnarly rides. Some of those being cars of the future, traces which can still be seen today.
Really early computer drafting, it's a lot of wedges, a lot of straight edges, a lot of sharp angles. Yeah, it's definitely a common theme among a lot of the cars here that they're very wedgy.
Armed with mainly pencils and clay, designers created an entirely new stage in the progression of the automobile.
There's been a lot of these cars that didn't have a place to go. You know, where would you see, a two-tone Accord at a hot rod show or something like that? They'd be like, get out of here. But, we wanted to have a show that people could bring that out and be part of the experience.
With the rad clothing and wicked sweet interiors, it seemed impossible to keep this show from spreading all the way from its roots in San Francisco.
I saw this on Facebook with the California group, and I'm so glad they brought it. I drove up from Florida to get here and camped last night next to my Miata. That was a first.
The 70s being the pinnacle of wedge shapes, many of these became a bit softer and more rounded. With fuel injection introduced, these choice rides could be driven far without having to worry about adjusting the carburetor. This one being daily driven to this day.
The 80s and 90s cars, they're definitely a different style than most cars. I like this one in particular because it's boxy, has nice sharp edges on it. The front has, the 4 headlights in the front. No cars have that now.
I've never seen one of these before. A mid-engine, rear-drive, 1992 Honda Beat imported from Japan. Okay, so how do we access the engine?
Take this off, you got paneling. That's how you pull all of your intake off. Then you gotta come around. So right down in here is your engine cover. You remove, it's just 4 bolts, hold this thing down, pull it off, and your engine's sitting right down in there, and it's transversely mounted. And it's actually not as hard to work on in there because it's only 3 cylinders.
This rad 63 horsepower K car was the last one ever approved to be roadworthy by Soichiro Honda.
I've driven modern cars. I don't get the same feel. It's just you're so connected to the road. It's just history.
Hammer is pronounced the same in both English and German. This 1987 Mercedes-Benz surely speaks to all. Taking home Best in Show, the only 6-liter AMG Hammer wagon ever produced. It's tough to appreciate every car when it's new, but as time marches on, you find that you miss that few $1,000 Subaru just as much as that tuned 6-figure Porsche.